a twin-headed dragon to remind me that another two-headed creature exists.
Oh.
Yes, very interesting.
I mean, that's pretty important because both teams have the same amount of heads, so one is not smarter than the other, I guess is what you're getting at.
Sure. There is
and
also
CK...
Ogre that I forgot about. So, you know, that's
and when CK is level 3 ult, he makes as many illusions as Naga does. So
yeah,
they also have the same amount of illusion heads.
Man, this is just riveting. People are literally losing brain cells listening to this conversation right now.
I thought you were going to say they're on the edge of their seats to hear more, but...
They're on the edge of their toilet seats, if anything, Syndrome, that's for sure.
Is that how you like to watch your Dota?
Hey, why not? That's the beauty. Take advantage of technology in the year 2023.
Absolutely.
You know? Watch that television that you have installed in your bathroom. On to the game. TSM versus EG. I mean, who would you say has the upper hand in this matchup? Like, from both a draft perspective? This is two questions for you, Syndrome, because I know you like answering questions.
Yeah, I love
We're going to have to hold that hold your horses, Syndrome. We got potential action here.
The battle begins.
The Illuminate coming out. Matthew is actually going to get clipped and brought back, and that is going to be first blood. 40 actually pops the Fairy Fire, so even more economy wasted here. And Brile of all heroes ends up getting the first blood, which is not what you want to see if you're an EG fan.
The silver lining for EG though, they got three bounty runes, so 3 power runes would be pretty crazy, but
that's the next patch, of course. You shouldn't be leaking that ahead of time, Syndrome.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, so they get 3 bounties. I'm a little bit surprised that Matthew went for the stun there, actually opening himself up to potentially getting glimpsed, but you know, a little bit of a mistake there on his part, but it's not too criminal because as nice as it is for Caudle to get the first blood, he doesn't really convert it into pressure on the DP, right? It's not like first blood goes to a Bat Rider and then this hero suddenly just explodes in the lane. Like, Caudle is still going to play the lane the exact same way. So I think for
yeah, but you're like
really make a
200 gold quicker to get those boots of travel, you know?
Yeah, it's going to matter later on, but for the lane itself, don't really.
It's not like DP's going to die, basically, is what you're saying. Yeah, I would agree with that. But yeah, back to the original double question that I had for you. Which lineup do you like more this game? And second, which team would you be expecting to be the better team in general coming into this tournament?
Just based on international accolades, I would say EG has, you know, just better results overall. And also, I would say probably the average series in their region is tougher.
Matthew, bottom, he is gonna die. He popped another Fairy Fire, by the way. That's 150 gold total gone. Go ahead, Syndrome.
Yeah, so I would say the South American region Division 1, on average, has stronger teams than NA Div 1, which is more polarizing, where there's like a couple of top teams that are just better than the rest.
Oh my god! Sorry to keep interrupting you, but Whitemon is actually just dominating this game. He just glimpsed back Matthew, who is having a horrific start to this game.
Yeah, I love how I cursed him. I was like, he always has good games, no matter what he plays, and he literally just starts out having no games.
Oh,
well, this will be a true test for Matthew. So what I was getting at was, I think EG, considering the region is probably the average game they have to play there is harder, and they've had better international results. I do think they're the favorites. As far as the draft, I like the Dire draft a little bit more as well for its stability, but I do think the Radiant, if it pulls ahead, it can snowball this game completely out of control. So
now here's a weird question for you. Like, because the NA region is considered weaker, we're not really seeing TSM play, let's say, upper echelon teams other than Shopify. Do you think that could perhaps be, like, is that just inherently, is it as black and white as it seems, that they just haven't been playing against these good teams, so they're probably not as good as everybody else? Or do you think we just haven't seen enough, and potentially they could do a lot?
Bottom. Nice and snare, though.
Yep, the ensnare owning Whisper, as Whitemon is good to go.
I mean, I think it might be part of why the NA region doesn't have as many good international results for quite a while, is that the amount of experience they get from their own DPC compared to other regions. Like the EU region, for example, is extremely cutthroat, and the quality of games there is so high that in order to even qualify for the big tournaments, you have to be at a very high level, and you get really strong practice a lot of the time. And the match experience you get, I think, is just more valuable. But yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, TSM only went 7-0 because it's NA, they're not actually that good, but the opponents are weak. But I would say if TSM was playing in the EU region, I don't think they would have had a flawless score, right? I think they would have been challenged.
Okay, that is another really good point that I want to go off of, because I know that I'm going to see a glimpse bottom as Matthew. He's going to take a little bit of damage to the Thunderbolt, but Whisper is going to kind of break this up. He's going to get ensnared in the middle of the trample again. So just back and forth damage being swapped here. But I know that TSM and Shopify, they play against EU teams in scrims. So the question is, how much more valuable are the matches that you're playing versus the scrims?
I'd say matches will always be more valuable, right? Because everybody is like at peak performance, you're bringing your best strategies, the stakes are higher, so the nature of the games will always be different than scrims. That doesn't mean scrims are useless, they're always very important to figure out strategies and draft, but yeah, real matches are a different thing. And it's also, if you're an NA team scrimming EU teams, you're still...
What is this 1v1? Whitemon versus Matthew?
On ping, right? For either team.
Yeah.
Or both. So it's not really... It's not the true LAN experience that we're getting here.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
I mean, you could say that for other teams that are kind of spread across the EU as well, to some degree. Because... do a little bit of damage underneath the tower. The snowball's there as well, but he's going to live. As the quick CS here.
Yeah, I want to point out C-Smile has 10 denies mid. He is beating Bryle, although he got first blood. So, there's your proof of concept for this mid lane.
I guess so. And Bryle, has Bryle started going to the jungle yet? Is the question. I don't think so. Doing a lot of damage to the mid though. As C-Smile, like you said, 10 denies, 28 CS versus 28 and 3 Coddle. So in terms of XP, he's actually quite a bit ahead as a result of those denies.
Yep.
And then from the position 1 perspective, Naga 35 and 9, CK 28 and 4. So
Matthew and Whitemon are going to meet again.
Yeah, but Bryle's here this time.
In big trouble though.
Glimpse into the Illuminate, and Whitemon actually gets credit for that one.
So
and it's going to turn into a stack as well.
I want to talk a little bit about the dynamic of this Death Prophet against Coddle, because what Coddle usually does is he farms this Vessel, Boots of Travel, or maybe just bots, like whatever order he gets stuff in, and then he will try to make aggressive moves on the side lanes, but when you're playing against DP, you might be pinned down a little bit more than usual because of, you know, EXO just not... Oh my god.
They pinged out the smoke and everything. Bryle's actually going to run into Panda's ice path. Yeah, he got a little bit too cocky after seeing that beautiful glimpse. It's going to result in his death. Whitemon looks to be fine.
But yeah, this is what's inevitably going to happen. Either you gank the Coddle when DP has EXO, or when the Coddle moves to a side lane to make his own move, Death Prophet puts a lot of pressure mid. This is arguably the better version of that. Unfortunately for EG, they didn't have the glyph there to protect their siege creep.
Oh, Kasane's TP gets cancelled in the top lane. He's going to attempt to TP within his Sprout now, and he looks to be fine. Have the TP to get back out afterwards, so a little bit of efficiency is lost as Because catching up a bit here in that top lane. Those glimpses have really defined this game for Whitemon. He is beasting it up.
I think you'd be hard-pressed to find more impact in the first 6 minutes as the 5 in general.
Yeah.
That's, yeah, he's won his lane. He's then also done the counter glimpse in mid. He's 1-0-2. He's de-warded. Like, can't really do much more than that. Despite that, though, Whisper is still having a good game in the offlane. So, the thing that happens inevitably with Primal Beast against Naga, or any offlaner against Naga for that matter, is if you buy Vanguard, Naga can't really do anything. So, Whisper bought that, and now he's just going to be free farming down here. If he gets the CS, that is. There we go. And, yeah, not too much to stop him here. So he will be getting really farmed this game as Primal, and this hero is very dangerous when it gets huge from that offlane position.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be going for BKB pretty quickly after...
Tomato farming a stack. They are pinging it. They're going to check it out, and they will find him. But good defensive ward here from TSM.
C-Smile's going to try to take some with some Crypt Swarm.
Only level
Surely
2, though.
TSM has an idea. Yeah, that's true. It's not going to be super fast. Matthew has level 2 Impale.
Brawl's going to
Brawl
take it
well,
okay, well he might actually just be helping them depending on the timing here.
Yeah. They're gonna just share XP as well. Big 2 creeps will go to C Smile, so
That's really
this
good
mid
for
lane
CT.
pretty nicely dominated from C Smile as he rotates into the jungle now. His top lane Whisper making his first rotation. Looks like I'm gonna try to go on top of Kasane. There's a Chaos Bolt. And Ari comes in with a nice snowball. A good attempt on the Ice Shard, but it's not gonna be enough as the Polarize is there. Bryle showing off those new boots of travel. Pakaz gets off his ult. Trying to focus on Bryle right now, but he's gonna get taken out by the Illuminate instead. So it's a 1-for-1 as Whisper has to hightail away. The tier 1 tower fell as well.
That is a honestly pretty good trade for TSM, considering, like you said, the tower and the fact that they kill the enemy carry. And now Whisper gets glimpsed. He is tanky though.
Okay. Ice Path not quite gonna connect on Ari. Whisper with the onslaught will hit the Tusk. Illuminate coming from Bryle, but they might have to leave the Tusk to his own devices as the Pulverize is there. As most of EG have come to try to thwart that, and they'll get the support Tusk in the end.
Yeah, C-Smile rotating
lots of
top there with
trades.
his Exo after getting mid-tower. So, overall, I think, now that they trade this mid-tower away, I actually think overall this map exchange favors EG, at least by a bit. And again, keep in mind the Radiant lineup is very momentum-based, right? I think this Coddle needs to get a lot done with these supports right now in the game. Both supports being level 5, one will get the Tome for 6. Looks to be Whitemon to get the Static Storm. And they have the Nature's Prophet offlane with the level 6 as well, so they have a lot of tools. Gonna try on Pakaz here, potentially.
Try it.
Alright.
They even have enough damage. There's the snowball. Shards to block him in. Okay. Gets off his ult though, as Bryle's here with the Thunderbolt from Whitemon. He does have his glimpse available as well, and that's going to end up being a very easy one. TP from the Primal Beast though. Whisper already half HP.
No,
another glimpse back to where the hell you
they're
came
just
from.
not respecting this Disruptor at all.
Apparently not, as Panda, he's going to try to do as much damage as he can, but obviously will fall as the numbers are here for TSM. And they'll likely get the tier 1 tower bot as well. That is that 4? 4 glimpses?
I don't know. Maybe... I think it's more. No, do you mean just strictly base glimpses?
No, obviously not. How many times does he cast glimpse? No. How many global glimpses? That one wasn't back to Fountain, right? That was back to the top lane for Whisper. But I think you're saying it's more than 4?
No. I think he's used glimpse more than 4 times, and you asked how many glimpses he's done.
God, you're the worst, actually.
You need to be more specific next time. Be like, how many times has he glimpsed people to the other side of the map?
How many
Fountain?
global glimpses?
You can't glimpse globally. It has
Chat
short
GPT, how many global glimpses? Here comes the snowball in the mid lane. Matthew.
Lion is in trouble. Lion's dead.
Yes, Matthew has been having a bit
Chat
of a rough
GPT
time. But Onslaught is there from Whisper. Gets off the ult. They're finally going to get some revenge on the freaking Disruptor. First death for Whitemon. Now the question is, are you Chat GPT 3.5 or 4?
I'm the new generation.
Okay, so 4. Good. Good.
Your future is in danger.
I see you haven't been using ChatGPT recently. That's I guess it makes sense. AI shouldn't be able to use AI as well, right?
Is that a failsafe?
Yeah, something like that. Did you pass the Turing test is my next question, which we all know definitely negative. As the tower bottom will be denied by Matthew. And you can see that he's obviously going for the shard right away. Still obviously quite a ways away. But Bryle, like you talked about earlier, Spirit Vessel will be the pickup for him against the likes of the DP. Very valuable. Now the question is, we already have a Yules on the DP. And the BKB will come as well, so there are going to be several ways to dispel that. How to disrupt this jungling from Kasane? I don't think they can close the gap fast enough.
They were playing like they had glimpse.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would have been nice to have there. I mean, what a spell, right? After glimpse got damaged, this hero just got so much better.
I mean, how much did the damage affect what happened in this game? Not really. Maybe for the glimpse at the beginning of the game to get first blood.
I think the glimpse in the beginning of the game was a kill specifically because of it. And I don't know, I'm trying to go through all the glimpses. There were a lot, but it's just like in general, your laning presence as a hero is just so much better, right? You see players nowadays skill glimpse level 1, which was never a thing in the past, right? Unless you, like some mega edge cases, you would otherwise use skill Thunderstrike, but the common build now is to go, a lot of the times you see Disruptors go 0-2-1, don't even get Thunderstrike in the early laning stage.
C-Smile has popped the Exorcism for the top tower, as TSM looking to smoke and try to find Pakaz, who's actually doing a pretty good job of keeping his distance.
And he's pretty tanky now, too. He has the armlet and a 10-stick charge stick ready. We'll try regardless.
Find him anyway. The TPs are coming, though. Do they have enough damage to finish off beforehand? The glimpse again! The global C-Smile will get the hell out of dodge. Spirit Vessel onto Pakaz. Trying to armlet away. He should be fine if he can properly do this, and he does. Absolutely. Onslaught. Well, that's Pulverize. Disruptor, you're going to pay the ultimate price again for your transgressions, but Kinetic Field was there. Ari buys him a little distance. Another great glimpse slash shards. Looks like that might save his life as Matthew going to find the tusk.
Finger here.
All he wants is Whitemon. Oh, he gets the finger. Whisper. He's creating a nice path of trees. So Whitemon knows exactly where he is. Kinetic Field keeps the distance again. Ari with the Walrus Punch. Whisper, he really wants this kill. Finally, Disruptor. They get it again. Pulverized, though, on the Tusk, who now has no mana thanks to the Lion. But on the other side of the map,
Smile got killed by Brio.
Yeah, in the Roche Pit area. Very interesting.
Yeah, that's the biggest kill of the game so far, probably. Slowing down this DP is huge for them. And keep in mind, Timato is free farming on the Naga. We haven't really talked about him that much because he's playing Naga and it's not really worth talking about. But ultimately, this hero will be worth talking about. He's up to 10k net worth minute 15. He has 200 CS, so completely free experience. And the luxury of playing with Coddle, which is amazing for this hero. You get lower cooldown in the mirror image, and you just have this constant influx of mana. You need to buy less clarities. You can itemize differently if you want to. A lot of the times you see Nagas go Orchid after the Manta. In this game, he doesn't need that mana regen to sustain himself, so he can go Heart plus Butter and not even get a mana regen item if he doesn't want it. Brile, gonna get found by Whisper, but Glimpse.
Another nice Glimpse. The MVP of the game has been the skill Glimpse.
For sure. And it's also been EG just not respecting it, right? I feel like they TP into Glimpses all the time. Like this, as weird as it sounds, it almost feels like they're inexperienced against it, but they can't be because everybody plays this hero right now, so there's no way. But maybe it's early in the morning for them. It's just a little bit of a wake-up game here.
Could be. Did you ever have that issue with any of your past teams?
Waking up?
Oh, just having a game at the beginning of the day that you just like, yeah, we sucked.
I mean, first game of the day syndrome is definitely a thing. That's why you generally, if your first game of the day, like your official is in the morning, you probably still play like a pub game to warm up. Yeah. Just to get used to it. Panda will die here. But Ari will be the trade.
The Glimpse. They're going to get the kill onto Lion here. There'll be a Lion for Jakira, but Tusk died as well. Nice silence coming out from C-Smile, but nearly enough to save their Lion. DP away to the mid lane.
So, I think something we should be talking about now is BKBs, right? Because that's going to be a huge item for the Dire to grab. You look at the Radiant, what they're doing to them. It's Glimpses, and it's the Coddle Vessel, and his Blinds, and all his magical bursts. Primal Beast opted for the Lotus Orb first, which I find an interesting choice. Obviously a way to counter that Vessel, and the Ensnare. I thought Whisper was going to buy in opposite order and get the BKB first, but he doesn't have it yet. The Death Prophet is a recipe away, and the Chaos Knight is not getting it at all yet. He's going Echo Saber into Dagger. So I guess for EG, kind of weather the storm here, get the BKB on Death Prophet and get the BKB on Primal, and you look a lot stronger suddenly for the upcoming fight. The Radiant lineup just doesn't deal well with BKB. That's one of the issues of mid-Coddle. You just don't solve it very well. Naga can't ensnare unless she gets Ags. It's like, there's going to be some problems here, I think, for TSM somewhat soon that they have to solve.
The Aghanim Scepter is online for Kasane, though, so you have the root on top of the Naga root. So if you can layer it with the Lotus Orb being used by Whisper before the BKB, it'd be pretty valuable. As they're trying to set something up in the
Whisper.
top lane. Yeah, there's the song. Panda's coming in from the other side to try to help his primal beast. Oh, the
a
Lotus Orb
great
actually
Lotus
reflects
on the
Tusk
snowball.
Whisper, he's going to get off the pulverize, and they're going to have to leave their Tusk to die. So TSM just dips after the, I guess that was kind of a Lotus reveal.
They must have known he had it, right? He had been farming waves with it multiple times over.
Oh.
Now they find Kasane.
Yeah, even the exorcism is there, but
Matthew.
Matthew misses the Earth Spike after being so tilted from getting
figure him
glimpsed this
anyway.
entire game. But they'll find the kill anyway, Syndrome. No need to have a stun on Lion.
As we talked about at the beginning of this game, Matthew just very, doesn't ever have a bad game. This is the hardest game I've seen from Matthew in a long time. It's just classic. I feel like in the last couple of weeks I've had a power of just cursing everybody I want. So if there's anybody you don't like,
week?
It's been extreme during the DPC. So if there's a player or a team you don't like, you just tell me in advance and I'll talk them up, and they're gonna have their worst performance of the month.
What about for casters?
Do you want me to curse casters?
Yeah, curse yourself, perhaps. Or Jenkins.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think that's needed.
Jenkins is doing a great job, right, Cinderin?
Yeah.
He's very valuable, right?
Love it. Love me some Jenkins.
Love me some Jelkins. Can't remember his name, for God's sake. See, smile, he's gonna get glimpsed.
How dare you, White
Well,
Mon?
you said it after... Whatever, Cinderin.
Yeah, just don't
You're
challenge
AI,
me.
you're
You
not
know I'm
allowed...
right.
You're not allowed to argue with actual human beings, okay? That's rule number 1 of AI. Humans are always right.
Yeah, that's what you
when
think
we're
is
not.
rule number 1, but you should have built it differently then.
True.
I've seen enough movies. I actually haven't seen that many movies, but
I was gonna say, what kind of garbage statement is that?
AI movies definitely. The overall theme is.
You name one AI movie, as we're gonna see
humanity's in
Panda get
trouble.
stuck inside the static storm. The Kiro ticking down
Good
very
glimpse.
low. Looks like he's done. Glimpse back, but the onslaught's gonna catch the disruptor again. So it's a 1-for-1 support for support. Ari's being able to TP out just fine. Name one AI movie.
iRobot.
Wow, how do you even know that? That's such a bad movie.
Yeah, I also haven't watched it.
Okay. All right. I guess I should have asked what AI movie have you seen, and then you'd really struggle. By the way, Matrix would be the easiest one to say. Is mid lane
Yeah,
because
that's true.
defending the tier 1 tower, which will live. It is deniable, but want to hold on to that mid tower as long as possible. Of course.
What's it called? Blade Runner 20 whatever.
You saw that?
I've watched that one. That was a good movie.
Okay. Very good, Cinderin.
There you go. Am I showing
working your way up
sufficient
to,
human qualities right now?
You're like Chat GPT 0.5 right now, 0.5.
Yes.
You're working your way up from 0.
I was getting excited for a second there.
Yeah, you're doing just great. But yeah, despite Matthew having kind of a rough game on this Lion, EG are still winning the game in terms of net worth, 2K advantage right now. And would you say, I mean, that's the one thing when I look at this line, I'm like, late game Naga is very good, and CK does tend to drop off a bit. I don't know if anything's changed in the last patch with that specifically, but...
So I think there's like some hidden factors here that are going to cause trouble for Naga late game, even if she is very rich. We talked about the Lion Shard, which she has, so the mana drain is always going to be a huge issue that you can't really itemize against with anything else than a refresher or something, so you can make a second set of illusions. But mana drain is a 6-second cooldown, so even that doesn't really help that much. And Primal Beast does a lot of AoE damage. Death Prophet is definitely getting a Shiva's Guard at some point. You have Jakiro with a lot of AoE damage, so I don't actually think Naga's illusions are safe at any point in this game. Even when she gets huge, there's still going to be so much just random magical damage coming out. I actually would love to see a potential Veil from Panda, but he's going 4-step, which also has clear merits here. But they just have so much just random magical damage all over the place that a Veil could actually be very valuable for their team. You see Death Prophet also going Atos. I guess he's going Gleipnir on the DP maybe.
I need to ask you a mechanics question.
Oh no.
So you glimpse Lion, who then mana drains with the Shard, which gives you the magic immunity. I know it doesn't dispel, but it does, so it blocks the glimpse, basically.
He stays in place, yes.
As long as he's channeling it when it's supposed to go off, right? Because I don't think it dispels.
He needs
Otherwise,
to
it
be
would say
channeling it
dispels.
when the glimpse would teleport him.
Right, okay.
And otherwise, the timing doesn't matter at all. It just needs to be active in that moment.
Gotcha.
So.
That's the real reason he bought it. Let's be real.
I think so, too. He's been glimpsed a lot this game. He's like, all right, he's going to buy BKB next.
Yeah, of course. Why
Eyeing
not?
up a 4-staff as it looks. He will get that in a second. And it does feel like this game is just more and more going in EG's favor, honestly. Not just about the gold, but as we talked about, the Radiant lineup is pretty snowbally by nature, and they've kind of come to a halt. There hasn't been a lot of success found for TSM in the last 5 minutes. EG are just farming, pushing waves, and if it does come to a team fight, better have your Song of the Siren ready, because this Dire lineup runs at you like an absolute freight train. See Whisper pushing out mid from a smoke. That might have been detected by TSM here, so they'll play defensively. Kind of a game of cat and mouse right now, though. They're just playing keep away.
They're being spotted by the scan right now, and into the Roche pit they
force
go.
them to fight. They're gonna go Roche.
Whisper, he goes to the high ground looking for Ari. Gonna get snowball for the time being. Gets glimpse back as well, but just creating space for C Smile with that exorcism. Indeed. That is going to be the Aegis going the way of EG. You see Whisper and Matthew still playing very aggressively. Of course, it's just the support from TSM as he actually gets the snowball off onto Matthew, but there's the Hex.
Matthew with
a spike as well.
Questionable layering of stuns there.
And I'm sure they'll find this kill regardless.
He hit the Finger of Death, and when you play Lion, that is the most important thing.
He's got 2 Finger of Death kills now, so...
Yeah.
80 bonus damage. Big
This is
time.
a fun fact about Lion. This is your most hated hero in Dota.
That's how is that a fun fact? That's just a random
That's
fact.
funny, because it's nobody else in the world's most hated hero.
Yeah, I don't like the design of the hero. I think they gave him literally every mechanic in the game. A slow, a stun, burst damage, BKB
And that is
through
why
the shard.
he's the first pick.
It's stupid. I don't like it.
He's not rated very highly.
I don't care. It's not about them
Thank
being
you.
good on a competitive level, Cinder. It's about being annoying. Drains your mana, slows. Like, come on. Delete one mechanic.
There are
and he'll be
so
okay.
many other heroes that are more annoying than that. You can't tell me you find it more annoying to play against Lion than like a good Tinker or Arc Warden or something.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
Naga.
those are very I don't lane against them very often. That's the thing.
Ah, I see.
I'm an off-lane
Whisper?
player. Is Whisper. Onslaught into a bunch of trees.
Ari
Not very
is possibly
eco-friendly.
going to get found by Matthew here, though.
Yep, he's going to get stunned a second time by the Lion, who gets magic immunity. He's slowing and mana draining right now. That's another mechanic. Has the Force Staff available here as well. Tries to get the,
nice
the mana
timing
drain
from
to
Ari
create
there.
some space. I think he wanted
might
to
actually be
get
able to kill
the
them.
BKB to dodge that Tusk snowball, but actually he just killed the illusion instead. As Brile has to pop his early BKB, that's the first usage of that in the game.
Oh, Ari's dead. That was not enough. He got spotted by the Tinker Ward.
Well,
they
there's
might
more
get
to
him.
come as
Naga.
Kasani is here as well. Yeah, Whisper's going to get the kill there, so it's a 1-for-1 across the board. Exorcisms pop. EG happy to get something
the
out of this now.
perfect
Nice silence
silence.
onto 2. And the focus is on the Naga sign. He dodges the Ice Path, though, has the song, gets it off. And the BKB running out for C Smile in just a few seconds, but the Exorcism is doing so much damage, it might not even matter. Tomato, he's going to get Yules up, and there's the Ice Path to ensure that they get that position 1 kill. Beautifully done from EG.
Yeah, well worth trade there. Alright, Paka's gonna dodge Glimpse with Phantasm. He's had enough of his shit.
Okay. Good clean stuff. Yeah, that fight, not too shabby for EG, as they're continuing to kind of... It's not like a huge lead by any means, but it feels like it's been trending in their direction for the last, I want to say, 10 minutes or so.
Yeah. I mean, you say it's not a huge lead, but like, think about their lineups and how they interact, right? Nature's Prophet is 6th on net worth, which is a pretty rare thing to see. Coddle is 5th, and this hero is very momentum-based, so what are you really holding on to at this point? Naga is not
just
going to solo
concede.
carry
You're right.
this game.
Tell him to concede, Synderen.
Oh, listen up.
What's the
Naga
point of
is not
playing
going to
anymore,
solo
huh?
carry this game. She needs help, because the counters are strong enough against the carry Naga, so who's going to step up to the plate? Are they going to give Nature's Prophet more space? Are they going to... Like, Coddle won't really scale into this particularly well either. So you kind of have to find a way to get Kasane more on the board.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this in the past as well when Coddle was very common in mid lane. As you can see, a big initiation into the high ground. Finger of Death is there as well. Coddle is dead right off the bat. Ice Path connecting pretty well. As Jakiro gets off the macro pyre, but already 2 dead for TSM is Pakaz. All those illusions. Looks like EG are going to easily get this tier 2 tower. They still have that Aegis for another minute, so no reason to stop now. As the lead continues to grow. Another tier 3 tower will get forted. Pakaz might just use his Aegis here in a few moments. Up the drums as Whisper.
Yeah, if Brawl doesn't buy back here, they might lose a lane. Okay. Pakaz really hated that courier. Alright.
Understandable. And this looks like the fortification. TSM, they're going to be at full strength
Exo
with 5
is ready now,
seconds. Song of the Siren is available to set something up here. How much setup do they really have? There's the Ensnare to start things off on Pakaz. He gets the Lotus Orb applied to him via Whisper. The melee rack is already dead. And remember, he still has Aegis for another 20 seconds. The punch, keeping Whisper in place. There's the glimpse back. The Aegis is now gone, but I believe he's going to respawn where he died there. So Pakaz might be in a little bit of trouble. He's getting a 4-second stun, though, onto the Naga Siren, but a nice snowball saving him for the time being. He's going to get silenced. He's going to get pulverized now as C-Smile with that Exo doing so much damage. And the Spirit Siphon keeping him very healthy. Tomato pops the Manta and then just dies. 50 seconds of no Naga Siren for TSM. Can they get something out of this? They get the DP finally, as Pakaz is continuing to do a nice job of armlet toggling. Little blink to safety. In the end, EG get the melee racks, and they lose only the Death Prophet.
Yeah, trading DP for Naga plus racks is definitely well worth it. And yeah, Tomato is just struggling to have any impact because his illusions just get mana drained. Like, if Matthew doesn't die in these fights, Naga can't really... She loses like 60% of her damage to a support. So, if you're TSM, I think you have to find a way of finding this Lion in the beginning of the fight. If you can burst him down, it might honestly be worth using like a Tusk Blink Snowball punch into Static Storm. Just get this guy out of the game so that your Naga can play. But in this instance, that wasn't really a possibility, right? Because it was EG making the first move anyway. After Tomato went for that ensnare, they immediately just piled onto him, so they couldn't find the Lion. But yeah, that's just another big win for EG overall. And I think at this point you just float the map until Roche, and if you force a fight against TSM there, they have to kind of steal it with Song. Oh, Matthew. All right, that's a good start.
Static Storm. That's the death of Matthew, so they get some revenge again.
Tomato is going to be so hungry for anything now. He just wants to fight. It's like, yeah, I got to play.
Onto 2. Whisper onto the high ground, has to Lotus himself, but you can see the root applied to Tomato right now. And still has a Song of the Siren available. He's extremely tanky. 3 seconds on next 2. The Pakaz stun. Focusing now on Kasane instead, but the Song is going to save him for the time being. As Kasane's literally stuck in between the illusions. So we'll TP out just a little casual there. Now the focus might just be on Tomato because we won't have a ton of backup. Reality Rift. Oh, nice job dispelling or dodging the Chaos Bolt entirely. He's going to use his Manta style. Try to go on top of the Death Prophet. He's going to use himself to buy himself a little bit extra time. Meanwhile, looks like Pakaz is just killing the supports on the backside. Ari gets killed off by Whisper as well. Tomato, he's doing a nice job of focusing C-Spine with the help of Bryle as well, so they will get that kill again this time. So it's a 2 for 2 with the buyback coming out from the Tusk now.
Just night and day that the Lion is dead, right? Like, this is the first fight we've seen Tomato kill anyone. It feels like in forever. Because that time he got to actually stick on a target and do all that damage with the Lion being the first catch. So, EG in hindsight maybe would have been wiser to not even look for this fight. Oh no, that's not a good snowball.
Yeah, he's gonna... Oh, that's a beautiful coming from Nature's Prophet, though. It will be the death of Tusk at the very least, and Tomato... Yeah, the instant dispel from Whisper, now that he has that level 15 talent on Uproar.
How do they kill Primal Beast in this game? He has Lotus, the Dispel from Uproar, he has the Boots of Bearing movement speed, and BKB. Like, they actually just can't ever lock Whisper down. He's deathless this game, and it feels like it's gonna stay that way unless they somehow get a Hex or something. Like,
it's a pretty sick build.
Counter everything they have, because they don't have any stuns except Tusk.
Is it 2 seconds of not being? It's 1.5 seconds of not being slowed. So
Yeah.
against that solar blind. Be cool though. Yeah, he's definitely owning. And TSM showing some signs of life there. I mean, obviously, Tomato, we've talked about it, his farm. It is first in the game, top net worth. The real problem is he just doesn't have another core that can kind of compete, it feels like.
I mean,
The
Kasana's
keeper...
getting there. He has
he's got Mjolnir.
BKB, or Mjolnir, sorry, not Gleipnir. He went for the Mjolnir, which is an interesting choice, because like almost every Nature's Prophet in this position goes for the Gleipnir, but they might feel like they need more bang for their buck in terms of just raw damage. The Mjolnir is obviously also good against CK, because he does a lot of instances of damage. There's going to be random damage from Macropyre, there's going to be random damage from Trample, from Ghosts, like all this stuff that can activate Mjolnir might be change the value proposition quite a bit. If he gets AC Satanic on this Prophet, he can also be a threat in fights, but the question is we're going to get there, because EG are going to go Roach again. This one will be Aegis and Shard, and the only way you get this is by stealing it with Song. You can't win this fight, I guess, Radiant.
Yeah, they won't be trying, so this will be Aegis Shard, like you said. Question is, who is the Shard going to? Is it the Primal Beast or the Death Prophet? Because everybody else that needs one has it. It'll be Sea Smile, so...
Yeah. Well,
extra charge of Spirit Siphon. And the fear attached to it as well. TSM, they're going to smoke up. We're seeing the Aghanim Scepter now online for Whisper, so the Uproar break slash
catch Sea
extra
Smile
damage.
here. He has BKB Shivas. He's a really tanky boy.
He's
I don't
quite
think he can do
tanky. Static Storm is there. They're trying to force out the BKB. He's not even going to bother. He's feeling very comfortable. He's at half HP, but TSM just have to back away.
Yeah, they just don't have enough stuns, right? Again, they're lacking that Hex to really stick on their target for Tomato. But he's not buying it himself. He's going Butterfly, so that problem is going to remain a thing until Caudle gets it. But Caudle is going Dagon. I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like you
Kill the lion.
surely you need a Hex this game, right?
It's all about killing that lion. Plus, the Dagon's really good against illusions, right? For the CK. Speaking of CK,
there's
he
some
uses his
redeeming
Hex.
qualities, but
Death of Ori.
oh, he likes Hex.
Top lane, Brile will have to BKB TP.
And I'm just saying the team that likes Hex is winning, and the team that doesn't like Hex is not winning right now. So
Keep in mind, the Dagon was just purchased now, Cinder. This is where things really get turned
he switched
around.
up to the Hex.
Sell it?
Yeah, he's
I
going.
just saw it
Hex.
show that he purchased it. Okay.
Yeah,
so
he was
sold
like,
it
wait,
after
I can buy
buying.
Hex.
It's like, oh, usually I have
What
Hex
else
already.
is there
at
to
this
say,
point. Wow.
you know? He just changed his mind. He was like, wait a second,
Alright.
maybe we need a Hex.
Very smart, man. I
And
never
they
would've
do.
thought
They
of that
might
one.
actually need two of them, but the second one would have to be bought by Naga or Kasana, and they're very far away from having the gold for it right now, unless Naga down prioritizes her Butterfly. But it is pretty valuable in the CK matchup, because CK is unlikely to want to buy MKB. He does have the build-up for Bloodthorn, though. So maybe, on second thought, this Butter is actually a potential mistake, and there were better choices like Hex plus Thorn. So you can really get onto these supports and just kill them off quickly.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
To be fair, you do have how many? Is there any Lotus on their team? I guess not. As there's not going to be a way to actually dispel that from what I can see. As the Exorcism popped in the bot lane, tier 3 tower getting pressured right now as the Aegis on the CK for another 2 minutes. He's got his BKB backpack for Pakaz. And that is going to be a free tower. Extra protection is there for a little bit. The creep wave is starting to enter here. They're going to try to go on top of the DP, trying to force out the BKB, but they're going to force things on the Tusk instead. It's a death for Ari. As Naga's in a little bit of trouble, was broken temporarily. Now will take a full pulverize, getting forced out. Finger is there as well. Looks like he's going to live, but the Nature's Prophet not so lucky. EG basically getting most of what they came for. Another melee racks to their name.
Pakaz would have opened that jump with a Hex instead of the Chaos Balls, he might have actually killed the...
Oh, there's the Hex.
There.
Rally Red buyback from the Nature's Prop. Do they have enough damage to actually take out the Motto in time before the song comes out? So much stun lock on top of him. He's dead. 60 seconds of no Tomato, and that might do it here for game one as Whitemon takes a tumble as well. This is going to be 2 sets of racks at the very least, and they can probably go for the Megas now. Now they're on top of the BKB Coddle. Double kill for Pakaz. He has to buy back into the game this Brile, but not getting a whole lot out of this is TSM.
Like, seriously, they just cannot.
Still
this hero is
deaths.
invincible, this game. It's just funny to watch the... And after he gets Ags and he converts this into so much damage as well, right, with Ags and Kaya Sanj, this hero is just absolutely destroying TSM, along with, you know, other problems that they have. This has been a really nice draft from them. I think this Lion last pick from them was pretty much genius, even though, I mean, as much as we were memeing on Matthew having a rough early game, Mana Drain has just... Even with a bad game, he has countered the enemy carry, right? And you can say what you want. At that point, it's like, whatever, you know? If you're gonna have a bad game and have this much impact, that makes for an amazing pick. It's just rough for TSM to find fights that they can win.
It was the last pick Lion, but who had the actual last pick?
Actual
was
last
the
pick
Naga
was the
second
Coddle.
phase? Okay, so the Lion was picked into the Naga.
Yes.
Now, obviously, they're not going to be looking to ban Lion as the last pick, right? Because there was still some flexibility from EG's draft, but
Yeah.
now they would. If they could redo this draft, they would certainly ban Lion.
Yes. Absolutely.
See, EXO popped again.
It's probably something that TSM haven't faced much in their practice, right? When they've played Naga, because like it's only a few select teams that play Lion. But after this game, it might become more popular as the solution to the Naga, obviously.
Yep, so we have the backline jump. Tusk is dead immediately. Wrath of Nature onto 3 heroes, keeps them rooted, but the Lotus Orbs plus every other Dispel that EG has at their disposal will be used to help take this last set of racks.
See Smile with the Refresher Orb as well.
Yep, so double EXO available. Not going to use it outright, as the melee rack's still alive here. He's just going to take it the old-fashioned way, through the right clicks. And TSM just kind of have to watch. They're going to have to fight at some point, surely.
TSM.
Ani pops the BKB, but nobody's really on top of him, so he's just using it to right click now, as that's the mega click to get the mid-range racks as well to be able to ensure that. As the GGs come out, and EG, very well played. Whisper obviously just unkillable, literally 0 deaths. But like you talked about, the Lion pick in general, even though he got, I want to say, embarrassed 7 times early on, he did come through with the mana drains.
Yeah, they did so many things right, on EG. I loved their draft. I love